Well, hello there, and welcome to Medicare Made Plain, brought to you by AssureSource. Since this is our very first episode, we thought it would be appropriate or even important to talk about what our goals are for this channel going forward. Growing up in the hills of Tennessee, I was raised that you lived your life to a certain code or a set of rules or maxims. Things like that you leave a place better than you found it. In other words, if you go to someone's home, you go to a park, or even a job, that once you walk away from that place, that it's in a lot better shape than it was when you got there. Things like that nothing good happens after 12 o'clock. That was a great way for parents to get kids in bed at night. And then lastly, the one that we've kind of built this channel around is that plain words are plainly understood. Now, what do we mean by that? We believe that you don't have to overcomplicate things in order to make yourself seem like an expert. In fact, in order to explain something simply, we believe that you have to know it completely. So what we will try to do is take this very complicated subject of Medicare and use real-world examples and try to make it as plain and simple as possible. So we want to say thank you for stopping by our little place of business. We hope you learned something along the way as we journey down this winding path of Medicare over the next few days, weeks, months, and even years. So let's get into our topic, and today's subject is OEP. So what is OEP? You may have seen these three letters in different parts of life or even different other types of insurance. But today we're going to be talking about what is OEP as it pertains to Medicare itself. OEP in the world of Medicare stands for the Open Enrollment Period. So you say, Dustin, that's great, the open enrollment period, but how does this pertain to me? What is it actually used for? Well, when I think of the open enrollment period, I think of a do-over. I don't know if you can remember this, but when I was a kid, you'd be out in the yard, you'd be playing games, maybe it's wiffle ball, maybe it's something else, and you make a mistake, and you throw your hands in the air and you yell, do-over. And you just hope that your friends will allow you to do that thing that you just did over again in order to fix that mistake that you made. Well, that's really what the open enrollment period is for Medicare. It's really a do-over or a buyer's remorse period for the annual enrollment period. What you'll see this most commonly used for is that somebody gets put on a plan during the annual enrollment period in the fall of the year. Maybe they saw a commercial on television. Maybe they talked to somebody that maybe led them in the wrong direction. But they made a mistake, and it allows them to fix that mistake between January the 1st and March the 31st of every year. So who can use OEP? Put very simply, anyone who has a Medicare Advantage plan. If you don't have a Medicare Advantage plan, if you have a supplement and a standalone Part D plan or a prescription plan, then you cannot use OEP. But anyone who has a Medicare Advantage plan can use OEP. So what are some common scenarios that OEP, or the open enrollment period, is used for? There's really two. The first one is going to be someone who has a Medicare Advantage plan and wants to move to a different Medicare Advantage plan. You know, we had this happen just a couple of weeks ago when somebody saw a commercial on television back in the fall of the year. They made a call in, they got put on a plan, and then in January they went to go see their doctor, and they could no longer see that doctor because they weren't in network. We see this a lot for folks that may have been put on a plan, and then they go to get their medicine in January. Maybe their medicine isn't covered, or it's a lot more expensive than it used to be. And so we're able to do over and fix that. You know, the person that we did this in January for, their plan started February the 1st. So if you make a plan change during OEP, whatever month that you make it in, as long as you make it before March the 31st, it'll start the first day of the following month. So what is the second scenario that we see this used for? That's going to be someone who has a Medicare Advantage plan and wants to move to Original Medicare and a stand-alone prescription plan. What you'll see this most of the time used for is somebody who wants to go back to Original Medicare and try to get a supplement. Now, if this is you and you're saying that you're going to go from being on an Advantage plan to a supplement, one little key thing to remember here is wait and make sure that your supplement application is approved before you switch to the prescription plan. Because once you switch to the prescription plan, you will no longer have the Advantage plan anymore. And then if something were to happen where the supplement is not approved, then you would go without those benefits of having the maximum out of pocket and the other things that you get out of having an Advantage plan. So make sure that the supplement is approved first before you go through with doing the prescription application. So maybe more importantly is who can't use OEP. As of right now, that is anyone who does not have a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, that may change in the future, but as of 2025, in order to use the open enrollment period, you have to currently be on a Medicare Advantage plan. So you say, Dustin, what does all this mean to me? What it means is quite simply this. If you find yourself in a situation right now where you're on an Advantage plan, maybe for whatever reason it's not the right Advantage plan for you. Maybe the doctors have changed, maybe the networks changed, maybe the drug costs have changed, and you really just need to fix that. You need to yell, do-over. Well, as long as it's between January the 1st and March the 31st, then you have an opportunity to do so. You say, Dustin, this is all great information, but I really think I need more help. Well, in the description below, there's a few different ways for you to get in touch with us. You can choose whichever one works best for you, and we'll get you in touch with the agent that's closest to you, trained by SureSource, to help you in the best way that they know how. Again, thanks for stopping by our little place of business. We hope you've learned something. If we can ever be any help to you, we never charge for anything that we do, and we'll help you in the best way we know how. Hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.